Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Uni token, ticker Uni against USDT. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. I do want to thank each and every one of you guys for liking, subscribing, joining the Telegram chat and the Discord server. It is really appreciated, guys. Thanks for sharing and thanks for enjoying the content. So looking at the weekly chart, we have actually opened up a candle below the 20 EMA, which is bearish, okay? So we're going to be bearish, I think, for the next week on all of crypto until we get to October, and I think that's when we're going to start the rally, okay? So looking at the weekly chart, you can actually look at this 55 EMA over here. So just this little red line over here that just formed, that is the 55 EMA on the weekly chart. That's where you potentially can see a bounce, okay? So keep an eye on the 55 EMA on the chart. And now looking at the daily chart, so you can see that we have a couple of trend lines playing out over here. So this yellow resistance line is where we got rejected twice, okay? Now we do have this yellow support line that we lost, and now we're testing it as resistance. So in the future, that could play as resistance. And we do have this white trend line below that is acting as a support trend line, a multi-month support trend line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. And with this dip, we may see a fifth touch off of this trend line. So this is the daily chart, the logarithmic scale. So make sure to draw out this trend line and yeah, have that as a support line. Then we do have this resistance trend line over here. And we've actually tested it multiple times now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6, 7, 8 touches. And we're just getting suppressed down by this trend line. So in the grand scheme of things, we are in a downtrend because you're printing lower lows, right? And you're printing higher lower highs, right? So that's effectively a downtrend. And yeah, we are in a bearish cross on the daily chart. The 20 EMA has crossed below the 55 EMA. So that's bearish in itself. So we're going to keep getting suppressed down by the 55 EMA. We're in between the EMAs at the minute, so we're consolidating, right? What you want to do is you want to get above the 55 EMA and back test it as support and get back into this symmetrical triangle, or this is an ascending triangle, right? That's what you want to do. Now, looking at some breakdown targets, I do have 2 fib retracements as always. So I'm just going to fix this one up and remove the background from this fib so it's a lot easier to see for you guys. Okay, there we go. So we have this smaller fib over here, and we do have a larger fib. Let me just do that. Actually, that didn't work. So we do have a larger fib over here from this low over here. Let me just make sure that that's correct. There we go. From this low over here, 29th of October, all the way to the all-time high. So yeah, that's the first fib. That's the larger fib that we have. And right now, we need to hold a 0.786 as support on the large fib. Losing that, we're coming back down lower. And the space in between the 0.618, which is the golden ratio. So this is something where you can bounce off of eventually. I'm not saying that you're not going to do it because, if Bitcoin crashes, this is your nice buy level because that's where you wicked before, that's where you wicked May 24th during that dip. So if you lose this support, then yeah, you're going into the bear market pretty much. But if you have a nice wick off and then you come back up, that's still relatively bullish, but I still doubt we're going to go that low. But if we do go this low and you see a little bounce, then that would be a perfect entry point for you. Now, in between these 2 fib levels on the larger fib, we do have these 3 smaller fib levels. And this smaller fib is set up from this low over here, May 23rd, to this local high, September 2nd, okay? And as you can see, we're holding the 0.32 as support right now. Then we went back up, broke the golden ratio, and now we're just getting suppressed by the 0.786 on the lower fib, and now we're just going to start coming back down. Below, you can see we have a support level of $22.39. Below that, $20.20. and below that, $18.22. So what I would expect is if we come back down here, print this second low and create this nice double bottom pattern, okay? That's something that I'm expecting with a Bitcoin dip going as low as $35,000 pretty much. That's what we can expect. Obviously, we can go even lower and come back to this $12.99 price range, which I like I said again, I don't think that's possible, but we do have multiple trend lines playing out and they're going to keep us squeezed, right? And we may get supported by this trend line and actually break out, right? So no one knows, God knows how long we're going to be in this dip, but I think October is going to be a very bullish month. But overall, you can see that the price is squeezing, right? We're kind of coiling up for a move, right? So this is kind of a large symmetrical triangle that we have right now. And we do have several resistance and support trend lines over here. This $22.32 is a significant support level. If we lose that, you're coming back down to reach this 0.5 on the smaller fib, or you're coming back down to retest this support trend line. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the daily chart. Now, quickly, I do want to jump into some indicators. So yeah, there you go. There's that trend line that we have over here, and that's where you want to hold support. You don't want to lose that because then you would be losing structural support. Now, taking a look at the RSI on the weekly chart, we're doing pretty okay, I would say, for the most part. Yeah, you can see that we're having that little resistance on the trend line. So have the RSI up as well. Make sure you check that out. We have a moving average squeeze with a signal line over here and bounced off of it to the downside. So once you print a bullish cross over here, that would be your confirmation to enter the market. Here on the weekly stochastic RSI, what you want to be waiting for is this move towards the downside. If you want a beautiful entry into the project, you want to wait for the stochastic RSI to come back into the oversold, okay? So right now we're on our way to the oversold, so keep that in mind. Moving down to the daily chart. Now taking a look at the RSI on the daily chart, the red lines represent resistance and the green ones represent support. So you can see that we're being kind of coiling up on the RSI as well, in sort of a descending triangle with a move towards the upside incoming in October perhaps. But if we get squeezed down in between these lines, you may actually see yourself come back down to this larger multi-month support line. That's where you're going to break all these red lines. So have this drawn out on your RSI because this is very important, because this can give you indicators where to buy if you hit support and where to sell if you hit resistance. So like I said, if we lose this green line, if we lose this support, let's see. I apologize. So if this line is lost as support, then we are going to go back into testing it as resistance, right? You're going to come back down and get squeezed up. And, if you get into this zone over here, as you can see, this is the oversold. That's where you want to be picking up uni tokens at a rapid pace because people are going to be buying the dip like crazy. Looking at the MACD, we're forming a bullish cross on the daily chart. But right now, it seems that Bitcoin is having some sort of a pullback, so we may potentially end up at $37,000 by the end of the week. So the stochastic RSI is getting, it's losing steam pretty much. The waves aren't as high as they usually are, and we potentially may come back down. And, if you're coming back up here on the daily chart, and if you're looking to take profits, this is your indicator on the stochastic RSI to take profits. On the weekly chart, it has more confluence. On the monthly chart, it has even more confluence. The larger the time frame, the more confluence the chart has, and the patterns have, for that matter. So as you can see, yeah, it's looking good. Some volume stepping in over here on Uni token, but I wouldn't be entering right now. I would kind of wait to see what happens. You can see that we're expecting a bounce off of this trend line over here for that pullback. That is something that we're looking at. Now, moving into the 4-hourly chart, let's see what we have going on over here. Let's check if we do have any divergences for that matter. Okay. So yeah, you can see that we did have a bullish hidden divergence over here. We have printed out a higher high on the RSI over here, as you can see, and we have been printing lower lows on the price action. So that's a hidden bullish divergence, and as you can see, that paid off. We had that nice move towards the upside. And yeah, other than that, I don't see any divergences at the minute that would, give us any sort of indication of anything. So yeah, looking at the MACD, we are potentially going to form the bearish cross relatively soon. So have a look on the MACD, but I do think we're coming back down. As you can see, the stochastic RSI is on its way to the downside over here, the bottom. And yeah, so overall, I would wait just a bit to see where the pullback is going to take us. Dollar cost average into the projects. Never, go all in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.